we're back. Maxine Clark still with us, joined now by Mike Bellone, Executive Director of South City Prep, charter school, running from 5th through 9th grade starting this year as well. Interesting thing about this school, longer school day and no traditional summer vacation.
Exactly.
What's the thinking on that?
Right. So we're actually a year-round school, and the thinking is exactly what we're here to talk about tonight, which is the prevalence of the summer learning loss for our kids. 90% of our kids qualify for free and reduced lunch. 90% of our kids are minority, and so we've designed a school that its intention is to help eliminate the summer learning loss. And so we start school in mid-August, and we go all the way to mid-July with our students, and we divide the school year into 8-week cycles. We have 5 8-week cycles. And then we take 2-week breaks. So we have our spring break coming up here in about a week and a half. Our kids get 2 weeks off during that time. And our hope is that we, and this is our 4th year of operation, we see that over the course of our summer session that we're still able to offer rigorous academic content. We're still able to offer a traditional school year, and we're still able to engage our students throughout the summer. So when they come back and join us in August, we don't spend as long having that makeup time. We mentioned 3 or 4 weeks of teachers having to make that makeup time, and we're able to eliminate that.
Yeah, this is something that comes up periodically. Francis Howell did it for a long time. Stopped it for not educational reasons, I think for budgetary reasons.
Right.
But this debate about year-round school, should we change this traditional idea that is often said to be based on an agricultural economy? Maxine, you're big into charter schools and educational ideas. Is this idea of shifting away from that long summer vacation, is that something that's just being talked about, tried here and there? Where are we with that? What do you hear?
I think certainly should be an option for children and for parents to decide because it can help some children. Other children may not need all of that formal classroom education, but many, many kids do. And I think the opportunities in a classroom environment, in a school environment, you can take, it doesn't have to mean that you're always just doing reading, writing, and arithmetic. You're doing coding, you're doing arts, you're doing dance, you're doing music in an environment that connects the dots for you. It gives it a perspective. And I think that's really what we do need. But it should be a parent's choice to decide what they think their children need at the suggestion of the teachers and the counselors at the school. And not every school is for everybody. I'm for good schools, great schools, and there are many of them in the St. Louis City and the county and in our charter schools that offer those kinds of options. School sometimes doesn't, is required to be about 175 or 180 days, and charter schools have more days, but they also have longer days and sometimes Saturdays as well. So it gives parents, actually, a lot of parents like it because they're working and they know that their children are safe and they're in an environment where they're getting more education as well.
And Mike, again, when we talk year-round school, it's not really year-round. You're talking about the same number of days that you would have in a traditional school, maybe a few more, right?
Right, yeah, so we have 183 school days, and we're allocating them in different places, right? So instead of a 3-month summer break, our students get about 5 weeks. And we're taking that summer break and allocating it throughout the year. And so it also is, it's helpful for our students, we know, to help them stay focused for the entire year. And like taking breaks a little bit more periodically allows them to recharge their batteries and be ready for school, and so we're seeing a higher focus there, which is also another benefit of that.
Does research back that up? And as you guys are looking, I'm not sure if you've offered this because it's a great alternative that certain people want, or is it something you're sold on based on what the research is telling you?
I mean, we're sold on it because of the research around the summer learning loss. And the research that we have both internally is that we know that when we assess our students at the end of the school year in July and assess them again when they come back in August and September, there's a very minimal loss, if any. And so our students are retaining that information in our shorter summer, which we're very encouraged about. Where our kids make about 1.5 to 2 years worth of growth every year, which is outstanding for the population we're working with, for sure.
Yeah, and I think one of our experts earlier on had said that, in fact, math, as I experienced, is actually an easier subject to lose ground in than literacy. If you're in an environment where you're being read to, or you're reading, or you're surrounded by books. So the reading improvement might be a bigger issue, or an easier issue to solve than math loss. And I don't know if that's true or not, how we approach reading and math in different ways.
Right. So we obviously we see growth throughout the entire year and hardly any loss over the summer in all those subject areas, including science as well.
Do you see these ideas going mainstream? Again, we talk about Francis Howell as being an example of a year-round school system. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. But again, do we see this, do you think, Maxine, going mainstream, or these ideas maybe being tested in charter schools and then applied on a larger scale?
I think they are being applied, and that was the intention of charter schools, to become innovation spots, places where we could see if it would work, and then we would apply it to the mainstream school districts. But in Jennings, for instance, I know that in their middle school, I visited their middle school not too long ago, and they are on a similar program that they decided as a school district they wanted to do, and they are employing a lot of techniques that are known to be used in charter schools, but why can't they be applied to regular schools? The schools in the magnet school system in St. Louis are also similar schools. They have a lot of experiential learning that allows the children and the students, middle schools and high schools, to have different kind of project-based learning so that they're doing and learning at the same time. I visited Grand Center Arts Academy a week or so ago, and the kids are really engaged in the work through arts. They're in a makerspace class where they're designing products. Entrepreneurs, if you will, and I think those things are also expanding to many other schools in the city and county.
And even if you've got a 5-week break, you still have an opportunity to go to Rocket Camp or something if you want, right?
Oh, exactly. We've already engaged.
I don't know why I'm always bringing up Rocket Camp.
Yeah,
it's probably something.
That. Yeah. But we've already engaged with Blueprint for Summer and already talked with them because our families still do need access. And still seek access for those summer opportunities even during our 5-week break.
Yeah, most of the camps in St. Louis that we have registered are a week long. You can go for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, but you can fit in a week between sessions and have a really incredible learning experience. And we hope that the schools and the teachers that teach art and teach music and teach science will look at this and refer their students to some of the programs that are listed, from the science camps at the Science Center, the Challenger Camp, to the COCA, to the Music Camp. There's also programs of literacy at the libraries all around St. Louis. And of course, the Parks and Recreation camps are phenomenal.
I'm thinking that when parents first get their kids into this year-round schedule, or the lack of traditional summer break schedule, it's a bit of an adjustment, especially maybe if you've got kids in a traditional school versus, but I would imagine they adjust. There are probably some things they're not crazy about, but other things that they find some advantage to.
Yeah, definitely. And we have to do a lot of education with our families to make sure that they're ready for a different schedule. They really love, in speaking with most of our families, they really love the summer because we are in session and there's a place where their kid is and they know what their education they're getting, they know the support they're getting, they know it's a safe place. And so they really like that. But there is definitely an education there, and it can be hard for some families, especially for some of our 7th and 8th graders who in some cases might be taking care of their younger siblings who might not attend South City Prep. They might be going to a traditional calendar. And so that can be hard. And so we work as hard as we can to educate our families and to make sure that we're connecting them so that their kid can stay at South City Prep during the summer and be successful.
Right.